Welcome back, deep divers. Today, we're going way back, like almost 2,000 years back,
Oh,
to explore this letter on the shortness of life by Seneca.
yeah.
It's all about, time
hmm
and how we use it, or maybe misuse it, maybe.
Exactly. And it's amazing how relevant it still is today, even after all these
Why,
centuries.
no, it's crazy, right?
You think about, Seneca.
Yeah.
He wasn't just some philosopher like up in an ivory tower somewhere.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
this was a guy who was right in the thick of it, advising Emperor Nero.
Oh, talk about a tough boss.
Yeah, high stakes for sure.
But eventually he stepped away from all that to focus on writing and just thinking.
Exactly.
So what did he learn about time?
Well, one of the biggest things Seneca realized,
Yeah.
it's not that we don't have enough time,
Okay.
it's that we don't spend it well.
Interesting.
He makes this really cool analogy to money.
Okay.
We're super careful with our money, right? We
Yeah.
guard it, we protect it.
We do, yeah.
But time, our most valuable asset, we just let it slip away.
It's true. We do.
It's like we're careless spendthrifts when it comes to time.
So how do we fix that? I mean, how do we become better time investors, so to speak?
Well, Seneca says we need to understand the difference between what he calls your time and their time.
Your time and their time.
Right. Your time is about freedom.
Okay.
It's about doing the things that you genuinely want to do, not what you feel obligated to do.
So it's about being intentional with our time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their time is all the stuff that we do because of external pressure or obligations.
So even if I'm doing something I enjoy, it could still be their time if I'm only doing it because I feel like I have to.
That's right. It's all about the motivation behind it.
That's deep.
Think about it. Are you studying something because you're genuinely passionate about it? Or because you feel like you need that degree to get a job, to please your parents, whatever?
These are good points.
Even listening to this right now, are you truly interested in Seneca?
Oh, shots fired.
Or are you just, multitasking, doing chores, whatever?
Okay, I get it. It's about being present, mindful, right?
Exactly. It's about recognizing where your motivations are coming from.
And making sure they align with what truly matters to you.
Exactly. And here's where Seneca gets a little, well, let's say, provocative.
Uh-oh. What did he say?
He says, don't bank on the future
Okay.
because you might not have one.
Oh, that's dark.
He's not trying to be morbid, though.
Okay.
He's just trying to remind us how precious each day is.
I see.
It's a call to action.
Okay.
Like, what would you do differently if you really believed that this could be your last day?
That's a great question.
Would you waste it on things you don't care about?
Probably not.
Would you let their time completely take over?
No, I don't think.
This is where we start to see the core of Stoic philosophy.
Okay, yeah.
It's not about controlling what happens to you,
Mm-hmm.
but about controlling how you react to it.
Okay.
You can't control if you get stuck in traffic, but you can control whether that ruins your whole day.
That's very true.
And speaking of control, Seneca really believed that time waits for no one.
Yeah.
Every single day,
Mm-hmm.
whether you use it wisely or waste it,
Mm-hmm.
it slips away.
And is never coming back.
Nope. And he says, if you keep putting off living your true life,
Okay.
you're just diminishing the total amount of your time you'll ever have.
So don't wait to start living, basically.
Right. And think about it.
Yeah.
A year in your youth, when you have all that energy, all that potential,
Mm-hmm.
it's just different from a year when you're older.
That's true.
You can't replicate that.
You can't get that time back.
No, you can't. He's not saying older years are less valuable.
Okay.
But there's a certain urgency when you're younger,
You have more freedom, more energy.
Exactly. It's like, that saying, youth is wasted on the young?
Yeah.
Maybe Seneca would say, it's not wasted if you're truly living it on your own terms.
If you're spending it doing things that matter to you.
Exactly. Aligning your actions with your values.
So it's not just about how much time we have, but how we experience it.
Absolutely. It's about the quality of that time.
And whether it's spent living authentically.
Exactly. And I think that leads us to a really key idea from Seneca.
Okay, I'm listening.
He says, the true measure of a life
Yeah.
isn't how many years you live,
Okay.
but how much of that time was truly yours.
I like that.
How much of it did you spend in accordance with your true self, pursuing your passions?
Powerful stuff.
And it's not even just about filling your time with random activities, even if they're fun.
Okay.
It's about building a rich tapestry of memories,
Interesting.
experiences that you can look back on with meaning.
So it's not just about the moment, but the long-term impact.
Right. It's about making choices that contribute to a life that feels full and well-lived when you look back on it.
I see.
Seneca even says that someone who lived a shorter life, but filled it with purposeful action and rich experiences, has lived a longer life, in a way, than someone who just existed for 80 years without ever truly engaging with their passions.
Wow, that's a powerful thought.
It is, isn't it?
And it makes me think of, well, I guess you could call it one of Seneca's biases.
Oh, what's that?
He believed that philosophers lived the longest lives.
Haha. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he?
Right. But there's a deeper point here, I think.
Yeah.
He saw philosophers as constantly engaging in new ideas, finding joy in thinking itself. And that's the ultimate expression of your time.
It is, because you're choosing where to direct your mental energy.
Exactly. It's not just about what you do with your hands, but with your mind.
And there's this really beautiful passage where Seneca talks about reading ancient philosophical works.
Oh, yeah.
And he describes feeling like he's befriending the authors across time,
That's amazing.
adding their experiences and wisdom to his own.
It's like he's building his own personal time machine through books.
I love that. And it makes me wonder, have you ever felt that kind of connection? While reading a book or even listening to this right now?
Like you're tapping into a conversation that transcends time and space.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I have.
Pretty powerful, right?
It is.
It's like those ideas, they bridge the gap between their time and our time.
And they offer us this timeless wisdom that we can use in our lives today.
Exactly. And now, let's not forget the context of all this.
Oh, right.
Seneca wrote this letter to Paulinus, who was feeling super overwhelmed by his job.
I can relate.
And Seneca basically tells him,
Yeah.
dude, quit.
He just straight up said that.
Pretty much. He said, focus on what truly matters.
Wow.
And it's kind of ironic, you know?
How so?
Because Seneca himself had a pretty demanding career.
That's true.
But he eventually came to the same conclusion.
He did.
He resigned, gave away his wealth, and dedicated himself to writing and philosophy.
He walked the walk.
He did.
So is he saying we should all become hermits and just like contemplate the meaning of life?
Not necessarily.
Okay, good.
But he is urging us to find that balance.
Between our time and their time.
Exactly. To carve out more space for what truly matters to us, regardless of what we do for a living.
To be more intentional with our days.
And to remember that life isn't just about the number of years we accumulate, but about the quality of the experiences and memories we create.
About weaving a tapestry of moments that make us feel truly alive.
Beautifully said.
You know, it's kind of amazing how Seneca's insights still resonate today, even though he lived in such a different world.
That's like he almost predicted the challenges of our modern life, you know?
Totally.
Imagine him trying to deal with, like, social media,
Oh my God.
the constant notifications, the pressure to be online all the time.
Yeah,
I think he'd see it as just another form of distraction.
totally. Like the Roman equivalent of the gladiatorial games, maybe.
Exactly. Spectacles that just consume your attention.
But leave you feeling empty afterward.
Yeah. It's like we're trading our precious year time
Right.
for these little bursts of dopamine.
And it never seems to be enough.
Never. We're always chasing that next distraction.
Instead of, engaging in deeper, more meaningful experiences.
Exactly. Seneca would say, yep, that's human nature for you.
It's unfortunately timeless, isn't it?
It is. But here's the thing about Seneca. He didn't just talk about these challenges. He lived them.
That's true, he did.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
He was exiled to Corsica for 8 years.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Can you imagine?
No.
Ripped away from everything you know.
Yeah.
Sent to basically a deserted island.
No Wi-Fi, no Netflix.
No, nothing. Just you and your thoughts.
Wow.
But here's what's amazing.
Yeah.
He turned it into an opportunity.
Really?
He used that time for self-discovery, for growth.
He was like the ultimate Stoic.
He was. He wrote letters. He studied philosophy.
He basically turned their time into your time.
Exactly. He's living proof that even in the toughest circumstances, you can choose how you respond.
It's about mindset.
It is. And that brings us to another key Stoic principle.
Okay, I'm all ears.
The power of choosing your response to external events.
So, we can't always control what happens to us,
Right.
but we can control how we react to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't control being exiled to a deserted island.
No.
But you can control whether you let that experience break you.
Or make you stronger.
Right. It's about finding that inner strength, that resilience.
To navigate life's challenges without letting them completely derail you.
That's so important, especially in today's world.
I know. It's easy to get swept up in the negativity.
The news cycle, the drama.
It's exhausting.
But Seneca reminds us that we have a choice.
We can choose to be reactive.
Let those external forces control our emotions. Be proactive.
Respond with a sense of calm and purpose.
Focus on what we can control.
I think that's one of the reasons Seneca's ideas are so timeless. He's not just talking about abstract concepts. He's giving us practical tools.
Tools for navigating the ups and downs of life.
Exactly. He's like that wise friend who's been through it all.
And offers a perspective that helps you see things more clearly.
I love that analogy.
And remember, he wasn't just theorizing about life.
Yeah.
He was living it.
He was. And not always in the easiest of circumstances.
That's right. I mean, he was an advisor to Emperor Nero.
Talk about a high-pressure job.
Yeah. Imagine the political maneuvering, the power struggle.
The moral dilemma.
And to make it even more intense,
What?
he was eventually ordered to commit suicide.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
By that same emperor.
That's crazy.
A former student he had mentored, no less.
Wow.
It's a stark reminder
Of what?
that even someone as wise as Seneca couldn't escape the unpredictable nature of life.
Yeah, it kind of adds another layer to his work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like he's saying, look, I've seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. Life is short and unpredictable.
But we still have the power to choose how we live it. He really walked the walk, didn't he?
He did, right up until the very end.
In that lived experience.
Yeah.
That willingness to grapple with the messiness of life.
Makes his words even more powerful.
It's like he's saying, hey, I get it, life can be tough,
Yeah.
but it's also precious, so let's make the most of it.
On our own terms.
Exactly. And he doesn't shy away from the hard stuff either.
What do you mean?
He talks about death, about the limits of our time here.
Yeah.
He understood that facing our mortality can actually help us appreciate life more.
It's like that saying, life is too short to...
What would you fill in the blank with?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think Seneca would challenge us to be intentional about that.
To really think about what matters most.
Yeah. What experiences do you want to have? What impact do you want to make?
So it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff.
Right.
It's about actively pursuing what brings us joy.
Living a life that reflects our true selves.
Not just going through the motions.
Exactly. It's about living with purpose.
And recognizing that your time is a precious resource.
That needs to be protected, nurtured.
It's easy to let their time take over.
It is, but we have the power to reclaim it.
To direct our energy towards what truly matters.
It's a battle, for sure.
But it's a battle worth fighting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A battle for the chance to live a meaningful life.
And Seneca, with all his wisdom,
And his lived experience.
gives us the tools to fight that battle.
And hopefully to emerge victorious.
So Seneca was all about reclaiming your time, right?
He was, yeah.
Even telling Paulinus to,
Yeah.
quit his job.
Mhm.
But wasn't Seneca, right in the middle of Roman politics himself?
He was, yeah.
A senator advisor to emperors?
It's not like he was some hermit living a simple life.
Right. So it's kind of interesting that he's giving this advice.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been there, done that, and it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Exactly.
True fulfillment comes from living your values, not chasing power.
And, he did eventually walk away from it all.
He did.
Resigned, gave away his wealth,
Yeah.
focused on writing and philosophy.
So are we all supposed to quit our jobs and become philosophers now?
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Okay, good.
It's not about specific professions.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that work shouldn't consume your entire life.
Right.
You need that balance.
Between your time and their time.
Exactly.
And it's not about waiting until retirement to start living.
No, not at all.
Seneca would say, start today.
Right now.
So what's one small thing we can do to reclaim some of that your time?
It really can be simple.
Okay.
Even just 30 minutes a day to read, to learn something new, to be in nature,
Yeah.
to connect with someone you love without distractions,
It's about being intentional.
with those precious moments.
Making sure they align with your values.
Exactly. And even small actions,
Yeah.
repeated consistently,
Can make a big difference.
they really can.
It's like a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
But you have to take that step.
And every step towards reclaiming your time.
Is a step towards a more fulfilling life,
A life that's not just about how long you live.
but about how well you live it.
So As we wrap up our deep dive into Seneca,
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave you with a challenge.
Oh.
What one small step can you take today to reclaim some of your time
And start building those experiences.
that create a life you can look back on with joy?
Maybe it's a change in perspective,
A new hobby?
a conscious effort to just be more present,
Whatever it is,
make it a priority.
time waits for no one.
And as Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live,
Yeah.
but that we waste a lot of it.
Don't waste another moment
Choose to live fully.
with intention
Yeah.
and purpose.
Starting now,